September 28th, a man now identified as Dennis Jones arrives at Metro Animal Care and Control. The 44-year-old is carrying a limp dog. It's emaciated, covered with sores, and cannot stand on its own.
This dog is close to death.
This dog is very close to death.
Within seconds, the lobby is filled with vets and staff who begin rendering aid to the sick animal.
This is an emergency.
The dog is loaded on a stretcher and taken for treatment. Despite getting the best veterinary care possible, the dog will eventually die. Investigators say the animal was heavily infested with parasites, and proper veterinary care would have easily prevented this tragedy.
This dog didn't just die like that. This dog died over months and months and months.
This was definitely a long, drawn-out process. By the time he brought the dog to us, the dog was down.
So what happened? Back to the lobby, where MAC investigators immediately begin questioning Mr. Jones.
So this guy came in, he identified himself as Tim Jones. We found out later that is a lie.
He has no identification, and initially he lies about who he is and where he lives.
When things don't add up, we start looking into it.
Jones will tell investigators that the dog is a stray, that he found it in a crawl space under this abandoned house.
Why'd he lie?
Because he knew he was in the wrong and he didn't want to get caught.
We go with MAC investigator Corey Wells.
See that there is no basement, there is no underneath the house that would have been available, so his story doesn't add up right away.
Correct.
According to investigator Wells, Dennis Jones claimed that the dog was a stray that he had found. In reality, the dog belongs to him.
Where did you go next and why?
The officer went out to the location, the address that he gave us, and said it was his home address,
Also a lie?
which was also a lie.
Investigators search their database. They find a June abuse case involving Dennis Jones and the same dog. Her name is Thea.
You can see that she's missing some hair back here. She's very underweight. The officer went out there, made contact with the owner, who identified himself as Tim Jones. The citation was issued to him. He did not have any identification. The fine was paid and the case was closed.
Armed with the investigative truth, MAC officers hit the streets
Where's the house that he's at right now?
looking for Dennis Jones.
Talk about how you're dealing with a victim who's got 4 feet and fur and it tugs at your heartstrings and you want to solve this crime for her.
When they find him, the 44-year-old will be charged with animal cruelty.
It boils down to, we are the voice for animals. If we're not here doing our jobs and if people aren't reporting what they suspect to be animal abuse or neglect, then those animals in the end up suffering and a lot of them end up dying. Our jobs, day in and day out, is investigation.
In Nashville, Andy Cordan, News 2.